Hey, what's up, y'all? Welcome back to the Top Flight Pod. You know what it is? You know what we're here to do? Back on screen today, beautiful Austin, Texas. I'm with the boys. We got Neff, my G, Primo here. Boys, how are you doing? But first of all, sorry to all the listeners out there. There was a little bit of a mix-up. We got the episode on the roll. We're here. We're ready to talk Austin FC footy. Maybe some other stuff makes it onto the pod. So on that note, Nev, starting off with you, mate. How are you doing, bro?
Doing great. We have lots to talk about today, so excited to get going.
Yeah, we let things maybe pile up on us there just a little bit, but we got everything the best from the last episode that we did in F that some people didn't get to hear, but we took it down, and then everything that's been happening as of late. We know we got some Rodo information with the ESPN article, new quotes from Josh Wolff, Jader, Obrian. I mean, the list goes on. So we're gonna get the best of what we recorded and the best of what we're about to say. We're gonna put it together for a good episode here tonight. So on that note, Primo. How are you doing tonight, bro? Rocking the Verde and Black OG Austin FC kit.
The OG kit, bro. Yeah, bro, just doing all right. Excited to talk some Austin FC. There's some good news this week, so pretty good stuff.
Yeah, some news. I'm gonna say that because some Austin FC fans definitely didn't take it as good news. The fact that they're gonna have to play Monterrey and Pumas in the Leagues Cup. We're gonna get to that here in a bit. But before we get started, massive shout out to the Patreon members, to everybody in the Discord. We're almost at 100 members. Can't believe it, honestly. The support has been incredible, and 2024 is just gonna be massive. We're gonna go hard for everybody out there. And if you're thinking about joining, follow us on Instagram. Check us out on Twitter. You can find the link there. If you'd like to join the We're Austin TV Patreon, you get access to the Discord where it gets hectic. It gets hectic. But alrighty. Going into the episode, gentlemen, we're starting off with some breaking news. The 2024 Leagues Cup groups have been announced, and Austin FC will face Rayados de Monterrey and Pumas of UNAM. Two powerhouses, two huge teams from Liga MX. It's going to be interesting. Now, last year in the group stages, Pumas drew against Montreal 2-2, but they lost in PKs. Remember, everybody, there are no ties in this tournament. They also beat DC United 3-0, and then later on got upset by Querétaro 1-0 in the round of 32. As for Rayados, last year, they went on an interesting run. All right. They defeated Real Salt Lake 3-0, Seattle 4-2 in the group stage. They went on to beat Portland 1-0 in the round of 32. They beat their eternal rivals Tigres 1-0 in the round of 16. Then they beat LAFC 3-2 in the quarterfinals. And somehow Nashville beat them 2-0 in the semis to end their run. So, Neff, I want to get to you first. What was your initial reaction to the announcement that Austin FC drew Monterrey and Pumas for the Leagues Cup 2024 edition?
As they say, there's always next year, and
Okay.
I don't
Yeah.
think it'll be this year for sure. Um, it's gonna take a tremendous amount of effort for them to have any type of favorable results. So, best of luck, but those two teams are. I mean, we're just gonna go by history here. Mazatlan and Juarez weren't necessarily the hardest, and they were heavily underestimated last year. Plus, it's a cup. It's a cup, so don't expect Wolf to want to win that.
Now, Neff, it's really hard to muster up support for Austin FC's chances at a Leagues Cup run, especially with this group. I mean, just talking about Monterrey and Pumas, you know what they come with. But just like you pointed out, Neff, the history is not on Austin FC's side either. You have an embarrassing defeat to Juarez 3-1. You have an embarrassing defeat also to Mazatlan 3-1 in your house. 6 goals against, only 2 goals scored. Two of the worst teams in Liga MX at that time. I mean, still, Juarez is probably a little bit better than Mazatlan. Maybe Mazatlan has also came up. But at the time, I mean, there was also FC fans that were celebrating that they had to play against Mazatlan and Juarez. This time around, we get Monterrey and we get Pumas. So, Primo, I don't know if maybe you have a bit of more positive reaction to this draw. What was going through your mind when you saw the official announcement that we got these massive teams in Leagues Cup?
I mean, I got a little excited. You know, there's two really good Mexican teams that we're gonna be able to watch and see them play against Austin FC. But it's gonna be tough, bro. I don't see us really coming out the group, to be honest. But Monterrey is just a really good team. Pumas is another great team. Both teams have really good players that I think are just too good for the team that we have right now. It's gonna be cool to watch, some big names out there, but it's not looking good for Austin FC. I don't think it's gonna be tough to come out.
Well, on that note, Primo, I'm on the Instagram comments on the post that We're Austin TV had today, or breaking news about the Leagues Cup group, and fans, they took to the comments and they didn't have much positive things to say. This is from Lee Johansen. He says, "Good to know what weeks I'll be free to go on vacation. I guess we'll be amazed the day the club takes anything except qualifying for conference playoffs seriously." Jay Garcia Photography, he says, no chance at all. Rayados fan Nancy Janelli says, mis Rayados y también Austin FC. So some people are also kind of 50-50 on this. They're Monterrey fans and they're also Austin fans. Some are Pumas fans and they're also fans. Shout out to our graphic designer, Nacho. He's a huge Pumas fan. So whenever this news hit him, he was extremely happy. He's a big fan of Danny. Danny Pereira is his favorite Austin FC player. So he says that he's looking forward to seeing what he can do against Pumas and also seeing how Pumas can play, how Pumas can handle a player like Danny, of his talent. Now, just real quick, some notes here. Leagues Cup 2024 will take place from July 26th to August 25th, featuring all 47 teams in Major League Soccer and Liga MX. The tournament will be played across the U.S. and Canada. That's an important detail there. No games will be in Mexico, but there is an important part of that. Certain teams will operate in hub cities across the U.S., and Monterrey is one of those. And Neff, I'll get your take on that, see maybe what's going to happen there. The competition involves 15 groups of 3 teams each, with the top 2 from each advancing to the knockout rounds. The 30 advancing teams join the reigning MLS and Liga MX champions in the round of 32, of course. Now, the tournament format has changed from 4 regional pods to 2 big groups, West and East. Without a public bracket, a new seeding system is in place with tier 1, 2, and 3, with 3 teams in each group. Now, Neff, I mentioned how Monterrey is one of those teams that will operate from a hub city in the USA. Where do you think that they're gonna choose? Because I know that there was some conversation on Discord today. I think it was by Adam. He was saying how, I think it was Sama also, how Monterrey could choose Houston as a destination to play their games. I don't know why. I mean, where do you think that maybe Monterrey might choose? There's also the San Diego Stadium, which is going to be an attraction, or I don't know if that's going to be a possibility.
Yeah, no, I think Houston would definitely be a huge possibility. Maybe McAllen. I know that they've hosted a lot of games over there as well. So around somewhere amongst that area, Houston, like you said, Houston is also a pretty lucrative destination for them. So why not? But they probably want something closer to Austin.
Okay, I see what you're saying now. Let's see here. I have here on my notes also, matches will still be held in the USA and Canada, as I mentioned, but some Liga MX teams will operate from the hub cities like we're talking about, Neff, during various stages of the tournament. The other teams that have those privileges will be America, Chivas, Tigres, and of course, as we mentioned, Monterrey. They have the hosting privileges in different U.S. locations at different stages of the competition. So, Primo, I want to ask you, was there any other group that stuck out to you outside of Austin FC's? Because just for me, right off the bat, looking at the Leagues Cup draw, the Chivas group, very, very fixed in my humble opinion. I don't know how that could have been drawn out, but you have San Jose, having a meetup with Cade Cowell in Chivas, but then you have Chicharito having a meetup with his LA Galaxy Carson fans that once supported him, and they probably still do. So, other than the Austin one, was there a group that maybe stood out to you, mate?
Yeah, that's a really good group. Really interesting there. I think another one that I really like is I'll probably say the one with Inter Miami, Tigres, and Puebla.
Oh, that's a good one.
That can probably be a good one. And then Atlético San Luis, they drew against Orlando and Montreal.
Ooh.
So Not too bad.
That's a real even group right there.
Yeah, this is pretty balanced there.
Group. That's pretty good.
But
all right.
Some pretty good groups here.
All right, Neff, give me one group that kind of like stood out to you, or maybe you thought, hey, this is gonna be a tough group. What'd you think, mate?
Well, really, the one group I'll be paying attention to is going to be the Santos, Atlanta, and DC United one, because despite everything, it is kind of fairly even as well. So
it
it's
really
not
is. It really is.
any as so I'm excited to see those games for sure.
And it's gonna be a real exciting group because Gonzalo Pineda with Atlanta, he's gonna be familiar with some of these teams, and he's gonna have knowledge on some of these guys. But hey, good chat there, guys. Now, all right, just to put the nail in the coffin of the Leagues Cup, we got our takes in. Is it gonna be an early exit for Austin FC? Is there any hope? Any hope at all?
Are you selling?
No. I'm not. I'm not trying to take that route. But this is one thing that I want to say. I know that the whole narrative, especially coming from the fan base, was that early exit. We're gonna be out. But I want to say this. If there's any chance that Austin FC gets out of this group, it has to be because we beat Pumas. And depending on the results between Pumas and Monterrey or whatnot, but the key is against Pumas, because I don't know how we're gonna do against Monterrey. Monterrey, we better just pray that it's not 3, 4, 5 goals. They are a super team, I would say. But if we get points or manage to beat Pumas on our best day, I don't know. I think there's a chance there. Everybody. Call me crazy, but if we're going to make it out the group, it has to be because we beat Pumas. Call me crazy, but on our best day, dare I say it? I'm not going to say it. I'm going to just wait because B's going to get mad. Primo, anything else you want to say on this, mate?
Yeah, bro. I mean, I agree with you. It has to be against Pumas, bro, because
it has to.
Think about it. There's a lot of Monterrey fans here in Austin, bro. They're gonna show out to that Monterrey game, bro. It's gonna be like it could probably be like 50-50, to be honest, bro.
It could be 60-40.
We're not really gonna have home advantage there, I don't think. But it has to be against Pumas, and Monterrey tops the group, I guess.
If Monterrey has home advantage over us at Q2, I'm gonna be upset, ladies and gentlemen. I'm gonna be upset. But all right. Moving on to the next topic, here's the new away kit. Now, Nev, this is something you and I talked about. We had to add it on this episode as well, so we're going to have to rerun it real quick, mate. Now, EA FC24, they leaked the kit on accident, apparently, on accident. But I want to send a shout-out to the boys at Top Bid 90 because I think they had a tip from an inside source somewhere that the kits were going to be leaked on EA FC24 because they said 100 retweets and we'll leak the kit. And then the leaks came out. So I wonder what happened there. But anyways, this was an accidental leak, apparently. But according to The Athletic, they posted an article about this. Their sources reached out to some people at the league or some people at different teams, the FOs or whatnot, and they confirmed that, hey, those leaks are pretty much spot on. That's what the teams are going to be looking like in 2024. That's what they're going to wear. And also our local sources confirmed to us like, hey, yeah, that's it. Because believe it or not, people in Austin that are working on that kit, they probably said a thing or two, and it goes down the grapevine and it reaches the ears of me or Neff or Primo, and where it goes on from there. But local sources, saying that, hey, that's pretty much it, whatnot. And the fan reactions to the kit, everybody seems to like it. Everybody came out and probably support of the leaks. They were very happy about it. And then yesterday, Wednesday, January 31st, Austin FC drops an Armadillo headquarters teaser, pretty much confirming the rumors locally that, hey, there was going to be an armadillo on the jog tag, all this stuff like that, right? And then also, Neff, we do have to mention the little snippet that was shared in the very exclusive group chat that we have of the type of material that this jersey will have. And oh my God, does it look breathable. I'm very excited for the jersey. In the previous show that we recorded, Neff, I said that this could be the best jersey all time, club history. I stand by it 100%. I think it could be. Primo, the one that you have on, that one's 1 or 2. I don't know. We can go back and forth on it. But Neff, if you could please give us again your take, your reaction to the leak that came out, and then the picture that you got to see from the yeah.
Yeah, no, the leak I think is pretty funny that everybody's freaking out about it. I mean, just today, precisely today, we got the leaks for next year's edition of Real Madrid's jersey. So we get that a year in advance now. So it's not, to me, the leak itself is not such a big deal, but I understand how it could be um, unfortunate for some parties. As
100%.
far as the kid, I think it's a nice kid. Like it's a nice kid. Personally would have liked a different shade of green, but it's not bad. Um, and yeah, it's probably gonna be one of the nicer outside of. I still think the Sentimiento one, for me at least, is my favorite one. So as far as that,
Okay.
now I'm looking at the picture right now, and yeah, I love what they did with the crest.
Oh, the crest is another thing,
Uh,
mate. Yes, the crest. I think that was something that I think maybe Vanilla Mexican was the one that kind of got tipped off on that first, but that the crest was going to be different than we have ever seen it before. And I agree 100% with you, Neff. What they did with the crest, bro, I love it, and that's kind of what makes this jersey pop a little bit more. But for me, the sell is in the texture. Now, speaking of sales, Primo, earlier, maybe a couple hours ago on the Discord, Vanilla Mexican, again, he sent the prices that the Verde van has these jerseys at. Now, if you check your emails, season ticket holders, the link is there. You can pre-order it now. And the club pretty much sending the colorways in that email of what the jersey is going to look like if you pay attention to the graphic. It's pretty much that beige and that green that Neff was talking about. But we see that I have the tweet here. Was it 165 for authentic? We see that it's 110 for the replica, men's and women's, and then for youth replicas, it's $90. So Primo, some people already confirmed to me that they have pre-ordered their jersey. They said, hey, don't tell my wife, don't tell my husband, don't tell my girlfriend, don't tell my boyfriend. But I already pre-ordered my kit. Primo, where are you at, mate? Are you going to pre-order it, or is it already on its way?
I really like the jersey. I think it's a really nice color. To be honest, I think it's my favorite away jersey. I think I like it as the other two that we've had before. And
the Legends kit is also up there.
Yeah, I like the two-tone on the jersey. The shades, pretty good colors. But yeah, I'm gonna cop it. I'm gonna get it for sure.
Definitely, man. Now, some people did say that, hey, no way, I'm not paying that much for a jersey. I'm gonna wait till it hits on sale at Dick's, Academy, etc. I know Adam always gets these like codes for these jerseys, and supposedly they're pretty good. They're pretty good quality, I guess you could say. But knowing me, knowing how I am, I'm pre-ordering that jersey as soon as I get off of this stream. I know how I am. I'm not even gonna cap. And everybody out there knows. Bali's probably laughing right now as he's listening to this. All righty, gentlemen. But jersey, just real quick before we go on to the next topic, give it a grade right now. I'm starting off A+. A+ to the jersey coming out. Neff, your grade.
B plus.
B+, that's passing. Primo?
A+.
A+. A+. If this jersey was going to my high school, that'd be a genius. A+, and a B+, genius right there. All right, now moving forward. All right, we got the Austin FC injury updates, y'all. Got some stuff to talk about here. We have updates on Lil Väisänen, Jazzy Zardis, and of course, Jan Komanic. Now, Väisänen is close to being back. Coach Wolff confirmed Lil Väisänen is coming back from hernia surgery, ladies and gentlemen, that he had in the off season. Now, Wolff does say that Leo is sharp, but this quote here is from Josh Wolff. He says, quote, Leo had hernia surgery in the offseason, so he was a little bit behind when we got back to Austin. He's good now. He's been taking part in training full on, and he's available to play this weekend. Obviously, talking about the match coming up against Louisville. Damian lost. We're going to get to that here in a bit. But, Primo, I'm going to start off with you on this one, mate. If Leo doesn't have a proper preseason, who should start day one of the MLS season? Because, Leo's coming back. He's barely taking part in full training. He's not going to be up to speed, especially the standards that Coach Wolff has. Who's going to be our center back partnership, mate?
I mean, as much as I want Leo out there, I think it's been pretty tough for him lately. it's just gonna have to be what we got. Cascante and my boy Matt Hedges. I think that's gonna probably be the duo for a good minute.
Neff, same question goes to you, mate. I know that you answered this one last time that we spoke, but I gotta ask you one more time. We got Primo's answer. If Leo doesn't have the proper preseason, who is gonna be filling those slots at center back?
I'm gonna go ahead and agree with Primo. I don't think there's really much too many pieces to move around there. I'll be surprised if it's anyone other than those two. Unless Bisonen is, of course, ready to go, but it'll be hard. It'll be hard for anyone else.
Interesting, mate. Now, we'll see what happens. Cascante is wearing that captain armband. He's part of Wolff's system. Wolff probably trusts him, knows him, how he is, how his style is. And Cascante also knows Josh Wolff's system and how he likes to play coming out from the back. So we'll see exactly what happens, gentlemen. Good takes there. Now, moving forward to another update that we had. Zardes with calf tightness. Of course, Coach Wolff says that Zardes had a bit of calf tightness and did not want to risk the only first-team striker on the roster against Philly in the preseason match. Now, Jossie saw his first minutes. He did play against FC Cincinnati, where he started at the 9, of course. No goal, but, Jossie got to start there. So we'll see what happens with Zardes. Calf tightness at the beginning, but he's easing into it, and we really got to trust and hope that he does stay healthy as the season goes, because we're going to need him this year, 100%. There's not going to be any relaxing in 24 if you're a striker for Austin FC. We're going to need him. Now, Jan Kolmanic, he will be back versus Louisville. We thought it would be a versus the teams in Coachella, but Josh Wolff in that timeline, he says it kind of moved up here a little bit. Now, Coach Wolff mentioned yesterday that Kolmanic will maybe play some minutes versus Louisville, and moving forward, Jan will play in the Coachella Invitational. According to Coach Wolff, Jan is a beast, physically strong, and in a good mental state. Now, the question that I asked you, Neff, last time was, do you think that Jan Kolmanic will be able to return to the level that he was once at? Now, what's the level that I'm talking about? At one point, he was the best left back that this team has had. He put in some important crosses into the box that ended up as assists, some important assists. Let's not forget the time he put the ball into the box that gave us the late penalty goal. Was it against RSL in that playoff run? Shout out to Zan and his beautiful left boot at the time, right? He goes through a very, very tough injury. Hard to come back from that. Josh Wolff thinks that he will be good when he comes back. So, Neff, I want to ask you, is Jan Kolmanic going to be able to return to the level he was once at?
Well, I hope he returns at a better level than he was once at, because this team needs it. And if this team's going to be successful and he wants to have a spot in that team, he's going to have to come back better than he ever was. I mean, the level of standards not very high, unfortunately, but he has to just come back better and stronger than he ever did.
I agree. Now, Primo, just going off of what Neff said there, you have a guy like Guilherme Biru that's coming in. He's going to put pressure on Jan Kolmanic. Same question goes to you, mate. I mean, is he going to be able to return to the level that he was once at? Because a lot of Austin FC fans have Jan Kolmanic on a high. Where are you at on that?
I mean, I really like Kolmanic when he first came in, when he first played for Austin FC. It's going to take a lot for him to get, to a good level. He has some tough competition. Maybe if you're putting him up against Adam Lunkovic, maybe he'll be starting. But this new guy that's coming in, he's ready to go. He's fit, so it's going to be a chance for Kolmanic. I think he just has to push, and if he really wants it, he'll get the spot. But he's a good player, Yeah, I think he can be a good player on a good day.
I agree, mate. I think on a good day, Jan Kolmanic as a left back, there's some things he could work on defensively 100%, but going off of what Wolff has been saying, and some of the stuff that we've been seeing that's been uploaded by the club, you can see that he's been working very hard in the gym, getting at it, trying to be back at, that level that I'm talking about, back at that level that he was once at. So we'll see, because there's definitely competition now. That's a lot. That's something that a lot of these players haven't had in their career so far at Austin FC. There hasn't really been that competition for a spot. And left back is one of those positions where right now, coming in, especially with Guilherme Biru in 2024, there's going to be definitely competition there. And then you also have John Gallagher, but we'll see where they end up putting him. But moving forward, gentlemen, we have the highlights from the media availability that occurred in Austin, January 30th. That's yesterday. The post-Cincinnati comments, and of course, looking ahead to the Louisville match. We're going to start off with Jader Obrian, with Jader Obrian, sorry. Now, he spoke to the media, of course, in Spanish. There was translator there. Shout out to Miss Emily Alvarado. The stuff that he had to say was pretty interesting. I loved it. A lot of fans loved it as well. They said that he has the right attitude. He was mentioning how he wants to be in Austin and stuff. So I'm going to start off with this one. This is a quote from Jader. He says, "When they asked me if I wanted to be in Austin, I didn't hesitate. I think it's a nice place. I loved it when I came to play here. Now I'm on the other side, and I'm enjoying it, enjoying the moment, and grateful to everyone for bringing me here. The truth is that I'm very happy to be in Austin." Now, Neff, when you hear something like that, what goes through your mind? Jader Obrian sounds like he wants to be here 100%.
Sounds to me like he took a paragraph out of Oroti's book, because it's the exact same thing I heard Oroti say when he got here, coming from a rival. But with that being said, hopefully he's ready to play for the badge. The club needs it. And the squad needs somebody that really, along with Ethan Finley, really, really wants to fight to the last second. So hopefully that's the case, and he comes in to add more quality than anything.
Okay. All right. Now, there was some other quotes here to read. This is from Jader Obrian again. He says, quote, "I am a winger, and I like to attack. I also like to defend because I like to help the team. But they brought me in for the attack, and I hope to be in the good moments when they need me. I will be there to contribute my grain of sand, and if I have to defend, I will do so. I have no problem." Now, maybe hinting at there the kind of system that Josh Wolff likes to play, going forward and also coming back. We have a quote there here in a bit that I'm going to go over that Josh Wolff mentions defending and attacking as 11. But Primo, I want to ask you something, maybe, because, Jader also kind of touched up a little bit on him being able to play at the 9. So I want to ask you, is it a good idea? Are you comfortable with Jader slotting in at the 9 for Austin FC? Because Josh Wolff also mentioned it. He says that Emi can play there, Seba can play there, Jader can play there. Obrian at the 9, where are you at on that, bro?
Nah, I don't really like that. I would much rather just have him on the wing. He's gonna have to run back, bro. So 100%. I think it's better for him to be on a wing to come down and help out the defense, because there's been times where we've been caught on when the team's attacking, we struggle to come back, and we need fast guys. So I don't think if he's at the 9, I think it's gonna be just tougher for him to go down the middle than the wing.
I agree. Austin's transition from the attack to defense and from defense to the attack was poor last season. That's something that we got exposed on many, many times by different teams in different leagues and different competitions. Whew, that's a rabbit hole you can get into, mate. Now, Neff, in 2022, 2023, Obi, which is what sounds like Josh Wolff is calling Obrian Jader, he had 37 appearances, 7 goals and 4 assists for FC Dallas. Now, he continues to talk about the 9 here. He says, "I feel comfortable. I said it. In the team that was out there, I played and I felt very comfortable. The truth is, it's not my usual position, but if they're going to need me, I will do it in the best way, of course, with my colleagues helping me too, because I know it's not my usual position. But as I said in the beginning, playing there, I felt good about the games I played, and if they need me, I'll be there." I ask you the same question that I just asked Primo. Jader at the 9, does that fit right with you? Because it could be a possibility in Austin FC's future.
Well, you gotta look at it as the type of player that he is. He's a very fast, very physical player, so I don't see why not. He's already faster than what Sardes will be, so I don't see don't see a problem there. This club is not used to playing with a natural 9 either way, so why not? I mean, he's already used to playing at a position. He's okay with it, so why not? I think he'll do good.
All right, well, we'll see what happens there. Now, let's see. We mentioned about the 9. The last thing I wanted to ask about Jader is, of course, our squad is light in numbers, and I'll ask you, Neff, first. and no one is safe really from the 2023 stuff, especially everything that happened, the cup exits. So I want to ask, Haddad already has an assist, right, with the goal to Valentin Noel. Can he be considered a starter for Austin FC coming into the new season? I'll start off with you, Nev.
No, I don't think any single one of the players could be considered a starter. If you want to be maybe very lenient, maybe you could even say just only Stuber has that starting spot unlocked. But other than that, every single one of the guys should be earning that spot as we're speaking. Every single game that they're gonna play, they should be earning it. And I don't think there's a set or they should be a set starting 11 as of right now. Wolf should still be experimenting.
Okay. All right. Now, Primo, just real quick before we go on to the next topic, I want to ask you the same thing. I mean, do you agree with what Neff had to say? Do you think that Haddad could be a locked-in starter already? I know it's very early, but he seems to be impressing in preseason so far. Maybe at the wing for sure. Again, we've talked about the 9, but is Haddad a starter for Austin FC yet?
I don't think not yet, but he's definitely on the right path. He's definitely doing what he needs to be doing to get that start position. Maybe after the Coachella games, we can maybe say
That's a good point.
if he'll be a starter or not. But he's doing what he's supposed to be doing. So I wouldn't be surprised if he gets that starting position in after a few games.
There we go. All right. Now, we're leaving the Haddad Obrian talk, and we're going to move on to Coach Wolff and what he had to say about the defense. Now, the media availability, there was a lot to really talk about, but you have to narrow it down to the most important parts. Now, to me, the way that Coach Wolff spoke about his defense was very interesting, to say the least. Now, we're going to talk about that here in a bit, just a couple of minutes. Now, I want to start off with this quote from Wolff. He says, quote, "I don't look at the attacking being the problem. I look at the defending being the problem. The individual defending last year was shocking at the end. Our group defending was shocking," says Coach Wolff. He also goes on to say, quote, "We have a good understanding that we can create goals and score goals. I don't think there's any doubt about it. We need to put our heart and soul into defending. Wanting to defend, knowing what defending looks like, and be better on that end." Neff, very critical words from Josh Wolff, really ripping apart his defense from 2023. A lot of fans were saying this last year. What are your thoughts on what Wolff had to say? I mean, we're finally getting maybe that criticism from Wolff for to his defenders.
Well, I would hope so. I think it's certainly. I think he's a little late to the party, but hopefully it gives the defenders the motivation that they really need to get things right. Because I know sometimes it's just a matter of rhythm. It's a matter of a lot of things oftentimes, but this has been a constant for since the beginning of Austin FC. So I hope maybe this way helps them kind of lighten up.
Yeah, now it's not really all Wolff kind of just ripping up his team apart, his whole defense apart. He says that the boys know that the defense knows, the whole group knows that their defending as a group was poor last season. He also says that after the Leagues Cup, the defense was terrible. It was very clear. And, he also mentions how they can attack. They know how to score goals, but they need to work on their defending. Now, this is a quote that kind of goes on to that. Josh Wolff says, "We defend as 11, we attack as 11, and put that out to everyone right away. We're extremely passionate about that. If you're on the field, you're out there to perform, to help one another. When we have the ball, we have a certain way we want to do it." Now, Primo, Neff and I went on it. We hear what Josh Wolff has to say, that they need to defend better, says that we had to defend and attack as 11. What are your thoughts on what Wolff had to say on his defense, mate? Because he was very critical.
I mean, and no surprise. I think Wolff has spoken about players like this before, and I mean, he's right. I mean, last year's defense was horrible. A lot of games were thrown because of some really bad defensive mistakes. So, it might be a little frustrating to see that it's not changing, or there's nothing really going on differently back there, and the season's approaching. So it might just be a little frustrating for Coach Wolff. But I think we still got a lot of preseason games left, a lot of work that we can do. So hopefully we get something solid by the time the season starts.
I believe we got 5 preseason games left: the Coachella, Louisville, and New York here in Austin. So we see what happens there. Now, alrighty, boys, moving forward to what Mr. Damian Loss had to say about his move. He also got to speak to the media. It was very nice to hear from Damian. This is per Austin FC. They say Austin FC Communications. Sorry. Austin FC announced that the club agreed to a new contract with goalkeeper Damian Loss. Loss signed a 3-year guaranteed contract with Austin through the end of 2026 MLS season with an option for 2027. Massive news there. In addition, Austin FC loaned Loss to USL Championship side Louisville City FC for the 2024 season. Loss will remain in preseason training with Austin FC until February 2nd and officially join Louisville when the team travels to Austin ahead of the preseason match between the two clubs on February 3rd. That is coming up, y'all. Now, this is words from Damian Loss. He says, quote, "I'm very grateful that Austin gave me the opportunity to sign a new contract here. It's a long-term project for me. I had a very good year last year, but now I'm going to be able to prove this year that I'm ready to play men's football at a higher level." Now, Neff, before I get your response on what Damian had to say there, it is important to note, Austin FC fans, don't worry that he's going on loan, that he's not going to get his minutes or not going to develop. Louisville did something very interesting this morning. Yeah, Louisville sold their keeper to the Union. That move almost secures minutes for Damian Loss, an incredible move for everyone involved. Why? Well, because Louisville gets a quality replacement in Damian Loss. Austin is at peace knowing that their young goalkeeper is going to get developmental minutes. And also the goalkeepers, Oliver Assembly, he gets to move to MLS Giants, Philadelphia Union. So, Neff, your thoughts on a very grateful Damian Loss?
I think he has the right mindset. He knows as a goalkeeper, it's a long journey sometimes to get into the starting 11 of any team. So there's a hierarchy that he has to fight through. I'm glad he's being patient, and hopefully he gets this move so that and is able to win that number 1 spot at Louisville. So other than that, I mean, best of luck to him. I think he needs it more than anybody.
Best of luck to him, 100%, man. I can't wait to see him fight for the first spot here in Austin. That's going to be massive. Now, not much to really go over on the Louisville side, but I do want to get y'all's predictions because, Neff, you and I went at it on this topic, and I said that against Louisville, we have to show ourselves as the dominant MLS side. That's what I said, because we're coming in stride. This is our 3rd preseason game. They haven't even started their preseason. They started on the 25th of January. They're barely getting into camp, right? This move is happening because they're barely getting into camp. There was rumors before of loss, but it just happened because they're barely getting in, everybody. So to me, in my opinion, we gotta receive Louisville and we gotta take them around town, beat them 2-3-0, and move forward. So Primo, starting off with you, mate, just real quick, a prediction for the Louisville match.
2-0.
Okay. Not bad. I'll take it. Now, Neff, I don't know if you're going to give me a number prediction, but maybe you could possibly give me a prediction in what you want to see. You know what I'm saying? Because I know you're going to say that you don't want to put a number on it, but what do you want to see from this Louisville match that's coming up?
I don't want to put a number on it because a number on it does not matter at this point. It's not official competition. It doesn't. It's just the reality of things. It's preseason. It's game against the USL, who you should already be better than. 100%. At the moment, Austin can't really necessarily say that. So you're not proving anything by winning this game. The only thing that the players need to prove is that they're fit, they're ready, and that they're feeling the football, and that's all that really matters out of this game.
I agree with you 100%, but I feel like if they're fit, they're feeling their football, then the ball's going into the back of the net naturally, and we need to beat this team comfortably. I don't want a 4-3, like I said, Neff, a 3-3. No, none of this. 2-0, convincing, 3-0, and we move forward. No injuries. Play who you want to play. Put the boys out there, but they need to get it done. I want to see some CJ Fodder in this match. I'll tell you that. But all righty, gentlemen. Now, a couple more quotes here. This one is from the media availability highlights that we have after the Philly Union match that took place in Florida. This one was via Skype, and one of the main ones that we want to touch up on just super quick is the plans to not add a striker, because Wolff did say this. He said, "quote Whoever we get, if we get one, there's a chance that we certainly don't get one. So if a striker comes along, we want a striker that can score goals. Their job doesn't change. They know what they're brought in to do." Right now, there are no plans to bring in a striker, or at least not in the near future. So if it changes, I'm sure you guys will know as quickly as we do. Now, today we're informed by Dylan. Shout out to my G Dylan. He sent to the Discord that Borja scored another goal today for River Plate. So if price had gone up before, price just went up again. So the reality is that we're probably not going to get a striker. And if you're making a face there, I'm going to get your reaction there. But on the quote, fans were upset at it, because it just kind of sent them to rock bottom, because we're not going to get a striker maybe. But is this the club waiting for a big signing in the summer, Neff? Maybe from Europe, maybe from South America. Why the no plans for a striker in this window when you desperately need more goals?
Well, I'll say this. I had the opportunity to talk to my friend Capitano this afternoon, and
Okay.
it sounds to me like it's more of a market strategy of Wolf trying not to sound desperate to bring in a striker. He didn't say whether it was this window, which by the looks of it is probably not, but that's the type of stuff that drives players' prices up, and not preseason goals. But yes, for sure, it's. I don't think there's no plans. That even if there is plans for the summer, those plans are intact at the moment.
Okay. Now, I don't want to spend too much time on the quote. We obviously had a previous discussion on that. Now, just how we said earlier, Coach Wolff did mention how Seba, Amy, and Obrian, they can fill in that spot if it's not Zardis. I don't know what the status is of Pino. I don't think he really impressed Coach Wolff in his showing in the first game of preseason. But we'll go on to the next quote that we have here, and I'll start off with Primo on this one. But Neff, I definitely want to get your take, and it's the quote that Wolff dropped on Dani Pereira. Wolff says that Danny has such a bright future if he wants it. It's not going to just happen. We have to nurture him and continue to help him grow. It's an extremely important year for Danny, and his performance last night was quite good. That was his quote when he was talking about Danny versus Philadelphia. Wolff mentioned that Danny is emotional, and he needs to learn how to utilize it in a good way, either in training or as much of it in games. Coach Wolff also stated that, quote, they had to use different players in different spots because some of that fell the wrong way late last season. Kind of Wolff saying that it was Danny's fault that Valencia probably got as many minutes as he did towards the end. We saw Valencia turn into a 90-minute player the last couple of games of the season. And lastly, Coach Wolff mentioned how they used Danny in a different position in preseason so far, and they tried some new things, but that they need to keep in mind what they want to do long term with the team. Primo, you hear these things. Fans were extremely upset. They went after Coach Wolff because they said it was a backhanded comment. How do you feel about Coach Wolff talking about Dani Pereira in this way?
Up and downs in that quote. I think overall, Danny is here to play. I think he's doing what he has to do at the moment, which is play for the team. We can all agree that's a big year for him, especially with the competition coming in the summer. So everyone's aware of that. Coach Wolff is aware of that. Everyone's aware of that. So I think Danny just has to keep doing what he's been doing, and hopefully, he's able to get the minutes that he needs to improve up until the summer, and we'll see what happens after that. I think that's going to be a good turning point for him at that time.
Neff, your take. I need to hear what you think about Josh Wolff speaking on Dani Pereira like this, because we could read what the fans had to say, but I need to keep this podcast as clean as possible. And if I go through the comments, it's gonna be beep 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 beep. So where are you at in these comments made by Wolff? I have heard other people say that Josh Wolff is 100% spot on. I've heard other people say that it's on Danny 100% and he needs to work on himself. Where are you at with this?
Where I'm at with this is that I feel Josh Wolff's being a little unprofessional the way that he spoke about Danny. I don't know that he's ever known not to single out a player the way that he did. And just a question for him: if we have to think about the team long term, and you're talking about Danny specifically, why don't you just let him go? If he's not going to be, it sounds like he's not necessarily part of those long term plans, right?
Mhm.
I honestly, it upsets me to see a coach speak this way of a player, just because like you said, it's a backhanded compliment. It's it's good when it benefits you. It's not otherwise, right? So, I think Josh Wolf definitely needs to take a look in the mirror and see, everything that he said about Danny. Maybe he has to learn not to be so emotional as well.
Hmm. Criticism coming from Neff there for Coach Wolff. Coach Wolff, definitely. If you look on social media, when this quote was posted, a lot of fans came after Coach Wolff in support of Danny Pereira. Saying that, hey, Wolff, maybe some of the stuff you need to reflect on it yourself. Some of the stuff that you're telling Danny could also go on to Wolff. But as fans, of course, a lot of people will say that Coach knows best. People will say that Wolff knows everything. So we're gonna go on to some of the next things that we have here to say. But we'll see what happens with Danny Pereira. We'll see what happens with Coach Wolff. I strongly believe that Pereira is instrumental for this team's success. And with everything going on, especially with the rumor, remember Neff, that was happened a couple months ago, a couple weeks ago, the 5 teams interested in Danny. I don't think that that's as over as some people might think. I don't know. We need to hear more from Capitano. Neff, you're shaking your head. I know you know more about this than I do, but we'll see what those long-term plans are. Danny Pereira switching agency, I think, also affects a lot of things more than people think, and I'm very curious to see how this is going to happen. Very curious to see how things are going to play out. I'm sorry, but Neff, anything else you want to say, mate?
Just remember that the market's not it's not over yet. So anything could happen. Anything could happen at that point. So uh, honestly, I think the best thing that Austin FC could do is really take care of one of his star players, because honestly, that's what Danny is. And if you're gonna, I'm not saying give him $1 million contract, but maybe
For sure.
take care of him a little more if you want him to be here long term.
For sure, for sure. Now, all right, let's see. Before we move on to the ESPN article, Rodo and Jeff Carlisle, just real quick, the Austin, just for the people that don't remember, if you want a little recap, Austin FC Philadelphia, it was a 1-1 draw. Danny did score a banger goal. Then Cincinnati, it was a 2-1 win for Austin FC. Goals by Juicy Dior and also Valentin Noel, which I still stand on that hill. It was not a shot. Valentino Well tried to put the ball back into the box, and luckily it went into the top bin, back of the net for him. He gets the goal. He's gonna celebrate it. We're gonna cheer for him, of course. But let's be serious here. That was a ball back into the box.
Hernan, when did you become into Coach Wolff at those backhanded
Hey,
compliments?
hey, respect, mate, respect. But alrighty. We're starting off with the Rodo Borrell ESPN article that was dropped by Jeff Carlisle. There was some very interesting things in this article. Primo, you said that you got to read it. I got to read it myself. I think Neff, you also got to look at it. He sent a shout out to the Latino fan base, the Latino influence in Texas. So Rodo Borrell definitely sees the influence from the fellow Latinos out there. But what I saw that was very interesting was the fact that Rodo is very frustrated that some of his targets haven't hit. Now, on Twitter, Weird Austin TV, they put this out. They said a highlight of the article by Jeff Carlisle. Rodo says he's frustrated by not being able to bring in his targets. Also mentions that he has been working on scouting players since landing in Austin. Signings are coming. Now, this is a little piece from the article itself. It says, quote, since I landed, we are working with the scouting department and we have identified lots and lots of players that would be very interesting for our organization. And it's frustrating that we are not able to bring them in, Rodo said. Quote, having said that, this is me coming and understanding that I am the one who has to adapt to the country, not the country to me. I love that by Rodo Borrell. Absolutely loved it. Now, Neff, I want to get your take just on that piece there. And if you have any words on the article itself, I highly recommend people go out there and read that. Not just Austin FC fans, but if you're listening to this and you're an MLS fan, go check out the article because it's Rodo Borrell, but it's focused on MLS big picture. Neff, what was your thoughts?
It, it almost sounded to me like a little bit of a lot of excuses. This is a project he supposedly knew how it works. At the end of the day, though, he is a professional. He should be doing better. He will be doing better, but I think he needs to work on the way that he addresses fans in the sense that and the club in general, on how these actual negotiations are going to go about. Or, I mean, we're not going to bring in big players, and that's not because there's no money, but also because Austin right now is not very attractive. So I think he tried lowering down expectations in December, and I think maybe he has to do that again.
Oof, double down on lowering expectations. I don't know how Austin FC fans are going to take that. So, Primo, just real quick before we go on to some Patreon questions made, what was your thoughts on this article, and maybe something else stuck out to you? For me, it was that piece that I just read. Honestly, that was the piece that I was looking for. It's important to note also, Neff and Primo, that this information is coming from November of 2023, so it's not up to date. Just came out. They spoke last week. No. This is information from November. So, Rodo also mentioned how Wolff was already in the office working on his strategy for next season. So Wolff, after the after the season elimination, Wolff was already in the lab working for 24. So you get that piece in there, but it's important to note that it's from November. So, Primo, your reaction to the article on ESPN by Rodo Borrell by Jeff Carlisle.
Yeah, really good article, definitely a good read. But yeah, I mean, it just shows that Rodo's understanding what is out here and the kind of audience this team has. We want to do something different with the team. I think this team can definitely go under some good changes, and I think Borrell is going to do that for the team, and it's good that he's been into his vision, and like you said, this is something that came out a while ago, but he's a pretty straightforward guy. I think he's sticking to what he said back then, and I think he's doing what he can with what he has right now. It could be frustrating that he's not able to bring in players that he wants, but things are pricey, and we don't really have much income, so.
Yeah, honestly, I really liked what Rodo had to say there about him having to adapt to the country, to the league, because although there is reports out there that he had been paying attention to the league before joining Austin FC, at least 7 or 8 years that he had been keeping up with MLS. So it's I guess nice to see that Rodo Borrell is finally realizing, hey, I got to change myself. He is coming with a huge CV, a huge resume. Everybody talks about what he did with City, Barcelona, with La Masia, with young Messi, but him coming out and saying, hey, I have to adapt, crazy. I loved it. La autocrítica, the self-criticism, I loved it. That's what you got to do moving forward. Neff, face, come on, bro. Alrighty, we have some Patreon
MLS.
questions.
You have to adapt. There's no other
100%.
league that operates the way this works.
100%. But I'm saying, as somebody with his resume, with his CV, saying those words, it's massive, bro. I like it. It's saying that he's taking the project serious. He's not just here to mess around. He's here trying to change things. He also mentioned he put a huge emphasis on the academy, and he was saying how we need to start earlier, to go from the U12s to the U6s, because he says that other countries like Europe, they have an advantage on the United States because they don't start making kids specialize until the U12, the U11, the U13s, and by then the other countries already have their kids on a 6-year advantage. So they're starting at U6, U7, U8. Well, in the United States, not only is it expensive, but they're starting late, right? So Rodo is saying, hey, if these kids start at 14, 15, 16, by then it's already late. It's already too late. So Rodo really wants to put an emphasis on the academy. We already knew this, though, right? We already knew this, but it's nice to see it put to print, and nice to see him talk about it with other writers like Jeff Carlisle. Awesome. I loved it. There's so much to get out of this interview with Jeff Carlisle, this article. highly recommend it for Austin FC fans, like I said right there. But the Patreon questions sent in by everybody. Again, shout out to everybody. We're almost at 100. Hopefully by the start of the season, we're at 100, and it'll be fantastic. Our content is about to go through the roof, everybody. But all right, Primo and Nef, hang in there with me. Couple more minutes. Patreon questions, starting off with Vanilla Mexican. He goes on to say, Josh Wolff said no plans for a new striker. Is Austin FC a broken roster that's on the path to crisis? Nef.
Absolutely, and it's not a new thing. It was started last season and year one. So yes, it's absolutely in crisis.
Okay, all right. Primo, I'll let you answer Vanilla's part 2 question. He says, Matt Doyle said that Drusy would be theoretically the perfect fit for the 9 and Rigoni as a false 9. Which one would you pick?
What do you mean? Like, which one would I pick? Like,
he said, I guess, would you take Drusy at the 9 or Rigoni as a false 9? Or would you switch him? Would you go with Rigoni at the 9 and Drusy as a false 9? The possibility of those two guys.
I don't know. I'll probably keep Rigoni at the 9 and Drusy as the false 9. I think we need a taller guy right there as a striker. So, and then Drusy playing as a 10, I think is more comfortable as, assisting and looking for that striker. So.
I agree actually with that take. Now, Nef, I think you had something different last time that you and I spoke. I said Drusy slots into that false 9. Rigoni has the size for that 9. He's played there before. He did well last season at the 9 for a bit. But, Nef, before we go on to the next question, do you share this similar take or a little bit different?
No, I think it's similar, but now that this new winger, Obrian. Obrian, yeah, I think he would do good at the 9 as well.
Respect Jader.
I'm sorry, it flies, but yeah, and I think he would actually be a great option at the 9. I don't have much trust in Rigoni, so I'd rather have him.
You said it flies. Jader is about to fly down that wing, ladies and gentlemen. But on that note, we're going to fly to question 3. This is from Ghosts of You. Shout out to my G. He says, does Noel's goal last preseason match shed more light on him for Josh and open that door more for him to fully come to the first team? I'm going to piggyback off of what I said a couple minutes ago. It was a nice goal, but he didn't mean to finish it like that into the back of the net, ladies and gentlemen. It was a ball back into the box. I love Noel. MVP of the finals for the next pro. Fantastic player. Young, talented kid. Young, talented man. But the goal wasn't a beautiful world-class finish as everybody's making it out to be. Nef, thoughts on that?
Hernan Wolff. Hernan Wolff.
No. There's a difference, mate. There's a difference.
You ask for respect. Give Noel respect. Dude, come on.
I gave him his flowers. I said he was the MVP.
Don't be like no. Do not be like Wolff. Do not be like Wolff. You're better than that.
Sometimes I feel like people just need to respect Wolff for just a little bit more. Honestly, I'm sorry that I had to say.
He has to earn it.
All right. Now, Primo, this one goes out to you, mate. This is also from Ghost of U94. He says, do you think any of our starters now are in jeopardy of losing their starting spot if they have a bad preseason, and which starters would that might be? Now, last time when we answered these questions, Nev, this was one that we answered last time. I said that, maybe the center back position, but Nev, you said that everybody should be in danger of losing their starting position. And it's something that we talked about at the beginning of the pod with Obrian. If he's a locked-in striker, if he's a locked-in starter, he's going to be a starter. So, Primo, I mean, is anybody safe from losing their starting spot that they once had?
I mean, there might be like a couple guys. The most obvious ones like Stuber. I don't think no one's really taking Stuber's position. Drusy, I don't think anyone's really taking his spot. But definitely for the positions where we're bringing in new guys, out in the wings, Obrian and Finley. And then the one we were talking about earlier, Kolmanich and Vito. So there's definitely some guys that can lose their spots. Number one guy I think for sure is Kolmanich right now. Until we bring in maybe another defender or another new guy, we'll have to see then. But
the question also says bad preseason, so I don't know if I kind of skipped over that. But if a player has a bad preseason, are they in jeopardy? I'd say Rigoni. If he has a bad preseason, I mean Obrian's there knocking on that door. He's on that right wing, so we'll see. And then you got CJ, you got Ethan Finley, so we'll see what happens. Those wings are going to be highly contested. And in the midfield, there's a lot of competition. You got Valencia, you got Danny, you got Owen, you got Rin, you got Drusi. And like you said, Primo, Drusi is really the only untouchable one there. You can argue for Danny, argue for Ring, but you still got to put Owen Wolff in that equation. And we're not going to get into that. We're not. But all right. Question number 5. This is from IG Brad. He says, prediction on where we finish in the West, or is that too soon? Now, if you and I answered this one, I said scraping for the playoffs, fighting for the last spot in the playoffs. It's a bit too early, but if we put out an early prediction for this club in the West, where would you put it at, Neff? Can you tell me one more time?
I wouldn't put them in playoffs.
Not even fighting.
Simple.
Fighting for the last spot.
It's too soon for me to say they would be fighting for it. I'm basing off what we've seen from last season. I don't see it. But
you're undefeated in.
I would certainly hope they do.
But you're undefeated in preseason. Doesn't that?
It means
doesn't that give hope? Okay. All right.
It means as much as winning Copa Tejas. I'll tell you that.
Respect the Copa. I'm not even going to get into that. That's bait, and I'm not even getting into that because I got to ask Primo, your early prediction, mate, on where Austin FC is going to finish in the West this season.
I'll probably agree with you, Hernan. I think we'll be fighting for that last spot, maybe eighth, because last season, as bad as it was, I think towards the end, we still had some kind of hope. I think every game was like, if we win this, there's still a chance. And they went on for like that for a good minute until, the last, 3-4 games maybe. But if you look at the table where we ended up and how far off we were from that 9th position, it wasn't too off. So and if we do something in the summer, something big in the summer, I think we can probably land 9th or 8th, hopefully.
Okay, all right. I like that answer from Primo. Shout out, Primo. Now, Neff might tell you that if the fans had hope last season, it'd probably be because of my fault. But I'd argue with them on that one. But okay, going on to number 6, my GLEs. We got a couple more questions. She says, everyone has a price. What would it take to make y'all a Jesus Ferreira fan? I kind of like Ferreira. I'm not gonna lie. I think he's pretty good. I think he's a good player. I don't know. I mean, I know he's an FC Dallas guy. He was almost a Russian team player, but I don't think I need a price. I think Ferreira's okay in my book. I haven't forgiven him for the jersey thing that he did in front of Q2. I was in there as well, but if I take that instance out, if I take that out and I just focus on Ferreira as a player, I think he's all right. He's a Pirates of the Caribbean. He scores against all the low teams in CONCACAF, all the Caribbean teams, right? Low quality football. That's what I mean. But I think it's all right. I don't know. Neff, Primo, what do y'all think? The jersey thing, I know. The jersey thing, I get it, 100%. It pisses me off. But if you take that out, where's he at?
I'll have to be 6 feet under. Pre-made it, and I still wouldn't be.
All right. Okay, Primo, question for you then.
I mean, he's a good player, bro. Decent player. Yeah, that jersey thing was
the jersey thing.
That was a little out of pocket, a little bit. But
the jersey thing for sure.
But what was the question? If I were to get paid?
No, it says everyone has a price. What would it take to make you a Jesus Ferreira fan? $50K.
Nah, give me like a quick million. Like,
Hey, just buy me like a 10-piece McNugget meal and a large Coke and some fries, and we good. Moving on from there. I don't know what everybody's price is at, but hopefully she meant Jesus Ferreira because she did put Ferreira, and I hope she didn't mean anybody else. I think it's Jesus Ferreira. But all right, moving forward to King Koopa's question. King Koopa, he says, what would you sacrifice to win it all? This is a little bit tougher. He says, what would you sacrifice to win it all? I'm gonna start off with you, Neff. What would you sacrifice, mate? for Austin FC to
Well,
win
I'll
it off.
sacrifice one. I'll sacrifice my season ticket, so that hopefully that's enough.
Okay. All right. Well, for me, what would I sacrifice for Austin FC to win it all? My job, brother. I'll hang up the boots. Sacrifice my whole gig, dude. Hang it up. Turn in my ticket. Put the hard hat up. Turn in my tools. For Austin FC to win it, I'll give up my income, brother. Primo, what about you?
I'll probably give up my car or something, bro. I'm okay with riding the bus for a minute.
Public transportation. Public transportation.
Public transportation, man.
Oh yeah.
Like the Metro Rail.
Oh yeah.
It's not your answer's not fair though, because you already give them half your paycheck.
That's not true. At least
Yeah,
a
it
quarter.
is.
At least a quarter. But not half.
Well,
I see what you're trying to do there. But anyway, Primo's gonna be catching all those new train rides that are going through Q2 with the new train station that they're gonna open. Public transportation, baby. That's the McCalla station, or what's the new one called? McCalla station. Well, there you go. But all right, the boys say what they would sacrifice to win it all. Now, Aries, the last question of the night, he asks, who should Wolff give the captain armband to? That's a really good question. So, boys, think of your player that you would want to see wear the armband as the official captain of 2024. I'll give you mine first. Julio Cascante. I already see y'all's faces. I see y'all's reactions. I'm not even kidding. Julio Cascante. And I'll make a serious case for it. Number one, he's been here since the get-go. Number two, he knows Wolff's system. Number three, Wolff trusts him 100%. Number four, he's already wearing it. And number five, it'll take the pressure off of Drusi. The Wolff already said that there's multiple leaders in the group. There's not just one guy. So pretty much Cascante would just take the pressure, the heat off of Drusi with the captain armband and just let him be the leader. It might, you know what? It might even help Cascante's confidence in the back. If he plays with the band on his arm, it might make him step up. That's my argument. Julio Cascante. I'm not trying to give a knock on Drusi, but I think it gives him too much pressure. Neff, your take.
One, to discredit you, he shouldn't even be in the starting 11, so he shouldn't be captain. And two, Stuber, because he's the only one with a locked-in spot at the moment.
Yeah, okay. I see the argument for Stuber. Okay, I like that one, but I'm still holding on to the Cascante one. Primo, your take.
I'm gonna go with the OG captain, Mr. Alex Green, bro. Give it back to him. Give it back to my boy, bro. I love him as captain.
Okay, well, we have definitely mixed takes. We have Cascante, Stuver, and Alex Ring. I mean, it's interesting that none of us chose Drusi. I think that's very interesting itself, and it's not a knock on him. It's not a knock. He's our best player 100%, but should he be the captain? Is he captain material? That's a whole nother topic, and honestly, I don't think that he fits the description for that. And it's not a knock on him, 100%. Well, Neff might say that it's Josh Wolff backhanded comments there, but I would like to see somebody else take that armband. Cascante, like I said, he's already in that pool. He's already in that system. Stuver would be a great candidate for the captain armband. And Primo saying, give it back to Alex Ring. But all right, y'all. Thank you for joining us tonight for another episode of Top Flight. Like I said, we mushed 2 episodes together, the one that didn't come out. Some of you listened to it, some of you got it, and then this new one with the new topic. So hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Again, shout out to the Patreon members, shout out to everybody that's on Discord. Louisville game coming up. We got some really important events coming up with Austin FC stuff, planning them out with Neff. Very excited as stuff starts to roll out. And just stay tuned to all the stuff coming out from We Austin TV, Top Flight, and we'll go from there. So Hernan, H, whatever you want to call me, my G Primo, my G Neff, signing out, and we'll see you soon, everybody. Have a good night, or a good day, good morning.